What would they have done if it really was like uber successful and hundreds of thousands of people got sick? How are you going to justify that?
One of the largest human experiments in history was conducted on unsuspecting residents of San Francisco.
Hang on. I bet you they were doing it to gays, right?
Well, it's San Francisco.
Well, you know, that's back then. That's the way they roll. They still do, but.
One fact that many people may not know about San Francisco's fog is that in 1950, the U.S. military conducted a test to see whether it could be used to help spread a biological weapon in a simulated germ warfare attack.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
What was it?
This is just the start of many such tests around the country that would go on in secret for years. The test was a success, as Rebecca Creston explains at Discover magazine, and one of the largest human experiments in history. It's also one of the largest offenses of the Nuremberg Code since its inception. The code stipulates that voluntary and informed consent is required for research participants. Oh, boy.
All right, so let me get this straight. So there's a fog, and they're like, wow, this fog, it's really thick. Wonder how we could... Hey, let's use it for this.
Yep. Fortunately, only one person died from it, Mr. Edward Nevin, and 10 others were hospitalized.
What type of biological...
It just says germ warfare. Let me see if there's anything. Okay, here we go. It all began in the late September 1950 when over a few days a Navy vessel used giant hoses to spray a fog of two kinds of bacteria. Serratia marcescens and Bacillus globigi, both believed at the time to be harmless, out into the fog where they disappeared and spread over the city. It is noted that a successful biological warfare attack on this area can be launched from the sea, and that effective dosages can be produced over relatively large areas, concluded a later declassified military report.
Wow, that is just crazy. So what would they have done if it really was like uber successful and hundreds of thousands of people got sick? How are you going to justify that?
You really can't.
In my opinion, the people who signed off on that, as soon as they discovered that, they should have been lined up and shot. That is treason right there.
It is nuts.
That is treason.
That is really nuts. Oh, there's more.
All right, keep going. I mean, we might as well just bat 1,000.
Bat 1,000 here.
Just bat 1,000. Let's just do it.
This is an article from 1979, back when the Washington Compost actually used to do journalism. Reports suggests CIA involvement in Florida illnesses. The CIA may have conducted open-air tests of whooping cough bacteria in Florida in the mid-1950s, when state medical records show a whooping cough outbreak killed 12 people.
Yeah, that shit kills you, especially young kids.
Yeah. And funny enough, who actually completed this investigation? The Church of Scientology.
What?
Yeah. According to a Church of Scientology analysis of agency records. The Scientologists said their examination, I didn't even know this was around in 1979, said their examination about 150 pages of financial records released in recent years by the CIA indicates that the agency conducted at least one open-air biological test along Florida's Gulf Coast in 1955. Again with the 1955. What, giving a bunch of kids polio wasn't enough? You got to fuck around and give them whooping cough too?
Listen, wow. I'm going to tell you, and you know what? And this was in 1955, okay? We're looking back like, this is reprehensible. Oh, what are they doing now? We don't even know.
No.
You have no idea what they're fucking doing now.
Back then, the intelligence apparatus as we know it today was practically in its infancy.
Yeah.
And now they've got a back door into virtually everyone's smartphone, computer.
Yeah, that doesn't know what that is.
Just imagine the kind of shit they can get away with now. Because not only can they do it,
especially with the Patriot Act.
Yeah, they can also weaponize the media and the establishment and big tech to make sure that you never find out about it.
But with the poke and smoke, like, it hasn't been properly tested. So basically, the entire world is the guinea pig.
Yep.
Does anyone see? That's a huge, huge problem.
And people are lining up for it and shaming others for refusing to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
But 7 months ago, Evil Orange Man, I'm not going to get that poke and smoke. No. Anything that he signed off on must be fascist.
Yeah.
They've done a complete 180, and they expect you to believe that they're ideologically consistent.
Yep.
Think about that.
Unbelievable.
And like you were saying before about the anthrax vaccine, we had to get there eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Did the anthrax vaccine make troops ill?
Yes, it did.
Now, if you try to find out about this on the internet, you're going to have a real hard time.
All right. Not only during the first Gulf War was it the anthrax vaccine, but they used the same shit a decade later, and they still hadn't had it approved through the FDA. They had 10 fucking years to get their ducks in a row, do the proper testing, and they still didn't do it.
Yep.
What does that tell you? They don't fucking care.
Yep. So many things that are wrong here. They'd come home with illnesses like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, functional gastrointestinal disorders, and other undiagnosed illnesses. It's insane. And then the various things, as many as 17 different poke and smokes in a short period of time.
Yep.
These vaccinations included the botulinum toxoid poke and smoke and the anthrax, which were not yet approved by the FDA.
Yep.
Others included yellow fever, typhoid, cholera, hepatitis B, meningitis, whooping cough, polio, and
that's all standard shit. I got all that stuff. So
yeah. But if you get all of it at the same time, that's one hell of a cocktail.
Let me tell you, there was a couple times where I got the entire shot card in both arms, and I was effed up for days.
Oof.
I know I'm not going to live to be an old man. It's not going to happen.
And just like the actual divorce rates of the military, the Pentagon is doing everything that they can to make sure that this does not get out. You don't know how hard it was for me just to find this.
I know.
And this is vague salad right here.
Vague salad. I love that. I'm going to write that down.
I'm just saying.
I like that.
It's bad news bears. But one good thing that came out of this, even if it turns out they're completely wrong, one good thing that came out of it, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with the 4,100 deletions from the completely safe poke and smoke that's currently being pushed on the American public. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, he's actually writing it down. Let's check it out.
Stop it.
What?
Don't fuck with
you doing it. Write it down.
I'm writing shit down, man. That's what I do.
The military can't get troops to take the COVID smoke and poke. Yes. Come again?
I don't blame them.
Service members aren't getting the poke and smoke. That's a problem, and it's more complicated than you'd expect.
Well, 40%.
You know what? I guarantee it. You look at this same author 7 months ago, he would have been saying the reverse of this.
Well, 40% of the Marine Corps, basically declined to take it.
Yep. About 1/3 of military service members are refusing to take the poke and smoke. In some units, refusal rates exceeded half.
Good.
At a time when the virus remains as dangerous as ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 99.97% survival rate. Dangerous.
Well, not to mention, these are soldiers. They're in probably the best shape of their life.
Oh my God.
They've already survived basic, so their immune systems are primed.
Yep.
And they've been vaccinated against everything already.
Yep.
I mean, it's so stupid.
And I love this. The author says, that's bananas. Yet the military says troops who decline the poke and smoke will face no repercussions or changes to their assigned duties, meaning even uninoculated troops will remain deployable around the country and the world. What the hell? And because of the anthrax and all of those other poke and smokes, the deal is federal law prohibits the mandatory application of medicines within the military that are not fully licensed by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So for once, the military actually has it better than you do.
Well, the thing is like when they gave me the anthrax, I didn't have an option. I had to get it.
Yeah. And I love how this author, this person who probably fancies himself a journalist, recognizes that trying to push this on the military is illegal.
And wants to do it anyway.
And wonders why, and never bothers to draw the line in his head that, hey, if it's not actually approved by the FDA, and if I wouldn't physically go out and eat something, like make a meal out of something that didn't at least get a once-over. When does the cognitive disconnect stop and the actual intelligence start to take over?
It doesn't. These are sheeple. Sheeple, listen, they're sleeping behind the wheel.
Oh.
They literally they're slaves to fear.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do their own research. They're right, everyone's wrong. They're lived truth. Everyone gets a trophy. I mean, they're just idiots.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's all fear. Full approval could take years, during which time hundreds of thousands of service members will apparently remain susceptible to and potentially vectors of the EO.
Who will more than likely be just fine and develop their own immunity without getting the stupid-ass shot.
Watch yourself some Grunt Speak Live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and leave the butt hurt at home, okay?